Welcome to the Quantum Leadership Series, number 4, with Yuval Roden and Coach Hess. We love bringing these sessions to you as the CEO to try to help you grow your business, grow your life, and understand some new ideas. So today the topic is all about management styles. We're getting right down to the nitty-gritty of how do we manage people, and we're going to compare two different styles and talk about some of the differences within those styles. One of them is very much a push orientation, another one's a little bit more of a pull. And the old push and pull to leadership is an interesting play in terms of building a solid team and getting what's management? We got to get the people to get things done. Now, as a coach, I've played for a lot of different people and a lot of different coaching styles. I've been on the court with a guy like Bobby Knight, who's very much, the admiral and going to knock it down. And I played with or been around other coaches that are very much, let's get this team thing go together and we share that. Um, Two different styles, both of them can be winners, but one of them I think is feeling a lot better. Yuval, what do you feel about management style? You're the one that's identified two solid different styles here. Tell us what your views are on that.
Two styles, two managers, two concepts. One, pushing very hard, pushing your team to get results, shouting at them in the morning, don't come back with no results. Don't even dare coming back. And they're stressed and they try to run like rats to get sales and they try to push. And then they're very squeezed to sell. And the clients feel this frequency that they're desperate to sell. And guess what? They never buy because people never buy from desperate salespeople. Never, never. And if somebody knock on your door and is desperate to sell, you won't buy from him as well. So this strategy that unfortunately still many managers and CEO are really handling doesn't really stand for long. Definitely doesn't really create good results. It doesn't work. But the
Yeah,
other style,
yeah. What's the other side of that coin? How does
but
that,
the
how
other
does that fit?
style, the other style is not pushing. The other side of the coin is solving the client's problem. Don't think about yourself. Identify the pain that the client faces and offer him the right solution. Don't bring yourself as a salesman. No, bring yourself as an expert that's solving problems. And then clients will buy from you because they will feel your frequency. They will feel your confidence. They will feel your calm energy. And they will come to you rather than you chasing them. And then you can bring them much more value. And yes, at the end of the day, you'll sell much more. But the game is stop really focusing on yourself, focusing on the pain, make sure you're offering the right solution, and make sure the clients and the market understand perfectly the solution you have. That's the role of the game in my eyes.
Yeah, beautiful. I think about the power of culture inside of a group, of all the many companies I coach. But you can tell when you walk in the door that it's this feeling of we're paying attention to our clients. It's just an atmosphere and it's inviting, very inviting. It's very attractive to be a part of. When we hire new employees, they come in, they fit into that, and they immediately start to grow and go, and they feel good about that. I think when you have that push environment, you're talking about, that doesn't happen like that, and therefore they're not treating their clients right, and it's not an escalating, growing, kind of geometric curve growth of your company that happens in doing what you're suggesting, Yuval. Great advice, and always appreciate your insight, Yuval.
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What would be your advice for managers and CEOs that their culture is still pushing? How they can really shift their frequency? What would you advise for them?
I think from my experience, people that have that push mentality, they're very much about discipline. they probably are very disciplined themselves. And so they want to have control of what goes on in their environment, and they feel that they're bringing the right thing through that discipline. I think the word of advice that I have for those that have been through that, myself included, I think in my maturity and growth and being a better coach and a better, person as a whole, is to recognize that you have to give people self-discipline. They need to feel that it's their energy, why they're putting their energy into the values you've put forth in terms of building this team for whatever reason you're doing it. In this case, we're talking business, of course, but it's bringing that up in this self-discipline view. You can make people do all kinds of things with discipline, but until they choose to do them, then there's no real success, I think, in what you're getting done in most cases.
Wow. Wow, this was really amazing. So enrollment, that's the name of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Get them enrolled,
Wow.
get them involved. Well, that has to bring us to the end of this session. We've trying to keep them fairly short, but we've given you some powerful messages here today. Hopefully, you can take those to your boardroom and take those to your own head and come up with some better ideas for making sure your business is reaching its full potential. Through Quantum Leadership Series, this is Yuval Roden and Coach Hess.
Thank you.
Perfect.